Okay, students, so in this video clip, we'll be looking at Unit 5b, which is about adventure holidays. วันนี้นะคะในคลิปนี้เนาะเราจะมาดู Unit 5b ซึ่งมีหัวข้อคือ adventure holidays. So we'll start with this picture here, right? You see this a picture on the website, and the question asks, what sort of person do you think would choose this kind of holiday? Looking from the picture, a man standing on a cliff here with green sceneries around him. So what kind of person do you think would choose this kind of holiday? คนแบบไหนนะคะที่น่าจะชอบการท่องเที่ยวประเภทนี้ Right? It could be somebody who is adventurous, right? Maybe young people, somebody who's active might want to go on this kind of holiday. So now we'll be studying at this advertisement on a website, unique trips for the active traveler. Okay, so you'll be reading this small advertisement regarding this holiday, and then we'll be working on exercise 2. Okay, what do you do in exercise 2? There will be some adjectives highlighted in the text, right? And you have to match them with synonyms. ใน exercise 2 นะคะหลังจากที่นักศึกษาอ่านโฆษณาการท่องเที่ยวเนาะจาก exercise 1 ไปเนี่ยให้จับคู่ adjective นะคะกับคำที่มีความหมายเหมือนกันในนี้ตอนนี้นะคะเดี๋ยวจะให้เวลาอ่านสักครู่นะคะนักศึกษาสามารถ pause วิดีโอไว้ตรงนี้ลองไปอ่านดูซิว่าเนื้อเรื่องเนี่ยเกี่ยวกับอะไรแล้วก็ความหมายของ adjective แต่ละอันที่มีการไฮไลท์ไว้เนี่ยน่าจะหมายถึงอะไรนะคะ Alright, so I'm sure you guys have read the advertisement already. So now we'll look at the adjectives given, the highlighted adjectives, and we'll match them to its synonyms. So the first one, actually this advertisement is about a holiday in mountain ranges, right? You'll be going to mountain ranges. ใช่ไหมคะเป็นการท่องเที่ยวในหุบเขาแล้ว You'll be kayak down legendary rivers ได้ไปพายเรือคายักใช่ไหมคะ and you'll have expert guides เนาะจะมีผู้นำการท่องเที่ยวนะคะ to take you to birthplaces of ancient civilizations จะพาเราไปที่แหล่งกำเนิดของอารยธรรมโบราณต่างๆ and introduce you to the fascinating people. Okay, we live there now from the Hadza tribesmen จะเป็นกลุ่มชนเผ่านะคะที่มีชื่อว่า Hadza เนี่ยของ Tanzania to Bhutanese villagers. Okay, this is your opportunity for a unique adventure จะเป็นโอกาสที่จะได้ไปท่องเที่ยวเนาะเป็นโอกาสที่แปลกใหม่ไม่เหมือนใครนะคะ with active itineraries. Itineraries เนี่ยก็คือแผนการเดินทาง when you go on holiday you make itinerary, you decide what you want to do in each day, right? And in your itineraries you'll have spectacular places, cultural interaction, physical challenge, okay, which is a perfect mix for an unforgettable adventure. Okay, so now what you're supposed to do is you'll be matching these adjectives to their synonyms, right? You can have some time to do this and then we'll check if you've got them right. ลองทำดูนะคะลองจับคู่ adjectives เหล่านี้กับ synonyms ก็คือคำเหมือนเนาะ synonyms. Alright, so now that you have finished, let's have a look at the answers. Which adjective describe an important or memorable event or experience? Memorable น่าจดจำ something you cannot forget, something you'll always remember it in your memory. Correct. The first one would be unforgettable, right? Unforgettable. very old. An adjective that describes something as very old. Very good. That would be ancient. Ancient ก็คือโบราณเนาะ Unforgettable คือลืมไม่ได้ลืมไม่ลงนะคะ Ancient โบราณ Something that is very interesting. That could be fascinating, right? Fascinating. น่าสนใจอีกคำหนึ่งของน่าสนใจก็คือ fascinating. Something that is impressive or dramatic อะไรที่มันตื่นตาตื่นใจนะคะ That could be spectacular and stunning. Very good, stunning. Right here. Something that is very famous อะไรที่มันมีชื่อเสียงโด่งดังมากๆเนี่ย we can call them legendary. Right? Legendary อะไรที่มันเป็นตำนานใช่ไหมคะมัน legendary. And something that is only one of its kind. That means there's rarely something of this, and it's something that is very unique, very rare, right? Or it's very remarkable. โดดเด่นเนาะเป็นเอกลักษณ์ไม่เหมือนใครนั่นเอง Okay, so we'll go through these all again. Something that is memorable is unforgettable. Something that's very old, ancient, right? Something that is very interesting, fascinating. Something that is impressive or dramatic. It could be spectacular. It could be stunning. Something that's very famous could be legendary. Something that's only one of its kind is unique, right? ไม่ซ้ำใครไม่เหมือนใคร So these are some adjectives you could use to describe places or other things. Okay. We'll skip exercise 3 and then we'll move on to exercise 4. In exercise 4, you'll be listening to an interview, right, about travel with Madeline from National Geographic. You have to answer the questions. Actually, you'll be doing exercise 4 and exercise 5 for this listening. So you'll be listening twice, okay? The first time you listen, you can work on exercise 4. These are question and answers kind of listening. The first question, what kind of new job does Madeline have, right? The second question, what are some of her responsibilities? When you have a job, there'll be job responsibilities or some duties you are expected to carry out in your job, right? So what are those responsibilities related to the new job? Okay, and when you listen for the second time, you'll be doing the true or false questions in exercise 5. Okay, so let's have a look at the questions first. Madeline's job is sometimes boring. Is it true? ดูโจทย์ก่อนนะคะจริงหรือเปล่าที่ว่างานของเขาเนี่ยมันจะ boring? Question 2. National Geographic holidays are quite traditional. When something is traditional, it doesn't change very much according to modern days, right? It sticks to its ancient tradition. อะไรก็ตามที่มันเป็น traditional คือมันดั้งเดิมเนาะมันไม่ค่อยเปลี่ยนไปตามสภาพสถานการณ์อะไรมากเท่าไหร่ Holidays ที่เป็นแบบของ National Geographic เนี่ยเป็นแบบนั้นจริงไหมมัน traditional ไหมนะคะ Number 3. Madeline is going to the Galapagos for the first time. Is it true? Some people on the tour come on their own. To be on your own is to be alone, to be by yourself. You do not have anybody else with you. On their own, on your own, on my own ก็คือมาคนเดียวนะคะ You have to do the same activities as other people in the group. Well, for me, I would say this would be the keyword, have to. You remember have to from English 101. It means you must do it, right? It's necessary. Is it true? จำเป็นไหมที่จะต้องทำกิจกรรมเหมือนกับคนอื่นนะคะ Number 6, you have to be fairly fit to do this kind of holiday. Now, when you're fit, you're strong, right? Physically strong and fairly means you have to be quite strong to do this kind of holiday. Is it true or false? Okay, so if you're ready, we'll start with exercise 4 first, alright?
So, Madeline, we've talked about some of your photography and your travel writing with National Geographic magazine, but I know that you're also very excited about your new job.
That's right. Recently, I've also started working as a tour guide with National Geographic Adventures.
Is that strange for you? I mean, you're someone who is fascinated by travel and experiencing new places. So, what is it like taking groups of people around on tour buses and showing them famous cities? It sounds a bit boring for someone like you.
Actually, it's fascinating because it isn't anything like what you've just described. These are National Geographic adventure holidays, so they're special types of holidays for people who love adventure, and on my tours, they are especially interested in photography.
So this isn't your traditional package tour holiday by the beach with a bit of sightseeing?
No, not at all. It's for people who are bored with that kind of experience. This is something quite different. For example, my next job is in the famous Galapagos archipelago.
Wow!
Exactly. This tour is very exciting because I've never been there before, and it's such a legendary part of the world.
So give us a basic idea of the type of people who go on the tour. How big is the group, for example?
Well, it's a small group of us, about 9 or 10 usually. Sometimes it's couples, but often they're independent travelers, and you make new friends.
But don't independent travellers get annoyed with other people in the group? I mean, after all, they normally travel on their own.
Well, of course, everyone has the same interests, so quite a few people come on their own and then make friends with everyone in the group. But if someone wants to go and walk up the side of a volcano on their own, or spend the day in a canoe out on the sea, that's fine. The itinerary is very flexible. But there are also scheduled events. For example, I give some talks about taking photographs, and in the evenings we usually cook our meals together on a barbecue. It's a lot of fun.
One last question. Some of our listeners are probably thinking it all sounds amazing, but they're worried about the physical requirements for this kind of holiday. How physically fit do you need to be?
You don't have to be an athlete or anything, but you should be an active person, and we tell people that before they come. This is an adventure holiday after all. But there's also plenty of time for relaxing by the beach in the evenings, and you never get tired of the views. It must be the best job in the world.
Alright, so that was the first time listening to it, right? And you had to complete exercise 4. So we'll have a look at the answers for exercise 4 first. So what kind of new job does Madeline have? Actually, she's now a tour guide, right? ตอนนี้เป็น tour guide ใช่ไหมคะ And some of her responsibilities are taking people to exciting places, giving talks about photography. ใช่ไหมเมื่อกี้ที่เราฟังเนาะก็คืองานของเมเจอร์เลยเนี่ยไม่ใช่แค่เป็นทัวร์ไกด์ธรรมดาบางครั้งเนี่ยจะต้องมาอธิบายมาพูดเกี่ยวกับให้ความรู้เกี่ยวกับการถ่ายภาพนะคะให้กับพวกลูกทัวร์ด้วยโอเค Next you'll be listening once again and finding out whether these sentences are true or false. Okay, if you're ready.
So, Madeline, we've talked about some of your photography and your travel writing with National Geographic magazine, but I know that you're also very excited about your new job.
That's right. Recently, I've also started working as a tour guide with National Geographic Adventures.
Is that strange for you? I mean, you're someone who is fascinated by travel and experiencing new places. So, what is it like taking groups of people around on tour buses and showing them famous cities? It sounds a bit boring for someone like you.
Actually, it's fascinating because it isn't anything like what you've just described. These are National Geographic adventure holidays, so they're special types of holidays for people who love adventure, and on my tours, they are especially interested in photography.
So, this isn't your traditional package tour holiday by the beach with a bit of sightseeing?
No, not at all. It's for people who are bored with that kind of experience. This is something quite different. For example, my next job is in the famous Galapagos archipelago.
Wow!
Exactly. This tour is very exciting because I've never been there before, and it's such a legendary part of the world.
So, give us a basic idea of the type of people who go on the tour. How big is the group, for example?
Well, it's a small group of us, about 9 or 10 usually. Sometimes it's couples, but often they're independent travelers, and you make new friends.
But don't independent travellers get annoyed with other people in the group? I mean, after all, they normally travel on their own.
Well, of course, everyone has the same interests, so quite a few people come on their own and then make friends with everyone in the group. But if someone wants to go and walk up the side of a volcano on their own, or spend the day in a canoe out on the sea, that's fine. The itinerary is very flexible. But there are also scheduled events. For example, I give some talks about taking photographs, and in the evenings we usually cook our meals together on a barbecue. It's a lot of fun.
One last question. Some of our listeners are probably thinking it all sounds amazing, but they're worried about the physical requirements for this kind of holiday. How physically fit do you need to be?
You don't have to be an athlete or anything, but you should be an active person, and we tell people that before they come. This is an adventure holiday after all. But there's also plenty of time for relaxing by the beach in the evenings, and you never get tired of the views. It must be the best job in the world.
Alright, so that was the end of the listening exercise. Now we'll have a look at the answers. The first question asks, Madeline's job is sometimes boring. So is this true or false? Well, this is false because if you hear it correctly, she said her job is actually quite fascinating, right? มันเป็นงานที่น่าตื่นเต้นนะคะ It's not boring at all. Second one, National Geographic holidays are quite traditional. In this sense, traditional means going to the beach, relaxing, staying at a luxurious hotel. But National Geographic holidays are actually very different, right? So this would be false. It's not traditional at all. Number 3, Madeline is going to the Galapagos for the first time. Yes. She mentioned that I have never been there before. That's why it's her first time being there. It's correct. Number 4, some people on the tour come on their own. That's correct. In the interview, Madeline said quite a few. These two words could have the same meaning. Quite a few people or some people. มีคนบางกลุ่มนะคะบางคนที่เลือกที่จะมาท่องเที่ยวด้วยตัวเองเนาะไม่ได้มากับคนอื่นนะคะ Number 5, you have to do the same activities as other people in the group. This is false. Madeline said the itinerary is very flexible. So it means you can choose to do some other activities you would like to do. Okay, so this is false. Number 6, You have to be fairly fit to do this kind of holiday. That's what she mentioned. She said physical you have to be physically fit. Sorry. ควรจะมีความแข็งแรงด้านสุขภาพในระดับหนึ่งนะคะเพื่อที่จะมาท่องเที่ยวแบบของ National Geographic ได้ alright so now we'll move on to exercise 7. Now if you hear it from the interview, the interviewer asked Madeline, you are also very excited about your new job. And Madeline said, yes. This tour is very exciting because I've never been there before, right? These two are adjectives. So first, if you remember, adjectives are words that modify nouns, right? For example here, you are also very excited. The base word of it, the root word is excite, right? You could either add ed or you could either write it as ing. Both of them are adjectives, but they are used differently. ทั้งสองคำนะคะเป็นคำที่มาจากคำว่า excite เหมือนกันใช่ไหมแต่พอเราเขียนต่างกัน excited กับ exciting มันจะกลายเป็นทำหน้าที่เป็น adjective ทันทีแต่ใช้ต่างกันใช้ยังไงคราวนี้ทวนก่อน adjectives คืออะไรก็คือคำที่ขยายคำนามใช่ไหมคะจะเป็นคนสัตว์สิ่งของสถานที่อะไรก็ได้เนาะ Okay, we'll have a look at the first sentence. You are very excited about the new job. Excited. What does excited here modify? Does it modify you are feeling excited, or does it modify your job? Correct. It modifies you, right? It says you are feeling excited. On the other hand, when you say this tour is very exciting, exciting here, an adjective, what does it modify? It modifies the tour, right? This tour is very exciting. Exciting ตรงนี้นะคะขยายทัวร์ถูกไหมไม่ได้ขยาย I ใช่ไหมเป็นทัวร์ที่น่าตื่นเต้นในขณะที่ข้างบนเราบอกว่าฉันหรือเธอรู้สึกตื่นเต้นใช่ไหมคะ This is the difference อันนี้แหละคือความต่างก็คือ1ถ้า describe feelings if you use the adjectives to describe feeling you have to end them with ed, right? For example, he feels bored, he feels excited, he feels worried, he feels annoyed, he feels interested. But if you are using the adjectives to describe other things like places, people, things, you end them with ing here. For example, Venice is fascinating. Her brother is boring, right? นี่คือน้องชายเป็นคนที่น่าเบื่อถูกไหมคะเราไม่พูดว่าน้องชายรู้สึกเบื่อเนาะถ้าจะบอกว่ารู้สึกเบื่อเนี่ยก็จะต้องเป็นอะไรคะ Her brother is bored, right? The film is exciting. หนังเรื่องนี้มันน่าตื่นเต้นใช่ไหม Okay, so ed for feelings, ing for other things like people, places, or things. To be able to use them correctly, you have to be able to decide what nouns does the adjective modify. If it modifies feelings, a person's feelings, then you would use ed. If it modifies something else, you would use ing, right? So which adjective describes how a person feels? It would be excited, right? And which adjective describes a place, person, or thing? It would be exciting. Now, one more thing. If I say, in these three sentences you have the same root word, right? You have annoy ในทั้ง3ประโยคนี้เรามีคำที่เหมือนกันอยู่ก็คือคำว่า annoy ถูกไหมคะ but they have different forms here. Okay, there are 2 adjectives here and 1 verb. Okay, could you tell me which ones are the adjectives and which one is the verb? ใน3ประโยคนี้จะมี2อันนะคะที่เป็น adjective มีอันเดียวที่เป็น verb ไหนลองบอกได้ไหมลองแยกได้ไหมคะว่าอันไหนที่เป็น adjective อันไหนที่เป็น verb ถูกต้อง this one is an adjective, right? He's annoying. It describes a person as he is, right? He's a very annoying person. It modifies me. I'm annoyed by him. Anyway, this is my feeling. I feel so annoyed, right? And it describes my feeling, right? So these 2 are adjectives. While this one, he annoyed me. This is subject. This is a verb. And this is an object, right? So do not get confused. Sometimes you have the past form of verbs looking the same as the ed, adjectives ending with ed, right? But they are actually acting in a different part of speech. Okay, so do not get confused. This one would be verb, while this one would be describing feelings. Okay. So now will be, if you have understood the differences between the adjectives here, we'll be moving on to another activity. Alright. Activity 8 on page 57 to check whether you have understood how to differentiate between these 2 kinds of adjectives. เราจะมาลองทำ exercise 8นะคะเพื่อที่จะดูว่าเราเข้าใจไหมว่า adjective แต่ละอันเนี่ยมันใช้ยังไงอะไรขยายอะไรเนาะ So to be able to do this you have to understand what word, what noun in the sentence does that adjective modify. Okay, so this is in a form of conversation. Let's have a look at each one of them. I'll do one or two with you first, and then I'll leave the rest for you to do it on your own. So how was your holiday? I had an time, right? The keyword here is time, right? ฉันมีเวลาที่เป็นไงคะ amazed or amazing. It describes time. It doesn't describe me. It doesn't describe my feeling, right? So that would be I had an amazing time. มีเวลาที่สนุกมากดีมาก To be back at work คราวนี้กลับมาที่ทำงานแล้วนะคะหลังจากไปท่องเที่ยวกลับมา Now I'm so ตอนนี้ฉันรู้สึกเบื่อหรือฉันเป็นคนน่าเบื่อ I'm so bored. Right? It describes my feeling. While this one describes the kind of time I had during the holiday. Okay, then the conversation goes on. I'm sure, where did you go? We went hiking. It's a fascinating place. เราไป hiking มาซึ่งที่ที่เราไปเนี่ยมันเป็นที่ที่ it doesn't describe feeling, does it? No, right? ไม่ได้อธิบายความรู้สึกเนาะเพราะฉะนั้นตรงนี้ก็ต้องเป็น it's a very good fascinating place, right? So you have some of them left here from question 4 to question 8. You can pause the video here and give yourself some time, finish it, and then we'll have a look at the answers together. Alright, so now that you have finished, let's have a look at the rest. It's a fascinating place. Yes, I watched a TV program about it once. ฉันเคยดูรายการทีวีที่เกี่ยวกับอันเนี้ยสถานที่นี้มาครั้งหนึ่งซึ่งมันเป็นรายการทีวีที่น่าตื่นเต้น interesting, right? the mountains that are enormous. Okay. Enormous means very big, right? ภูเขามันใหญ่มากแล้วจะ look like a place to climb มันดูเหมือนเป็นสถานที่มันจะรู้สึกกลัวไหมคะ Would a place feel frightened? No, right? But a place can be frightening. So this one describes a place, a frightening place. Well, we had a fantastic guide, so I wasn't worried, right? What were the rest of the people in the group like? แล้วคนอื่นๆที่เดินในกรุ๊ปไง really nice except for one man who really me ตรงนี้เหมือนเมื่อกี้เลย This is kind of similar, familiar to you guys, right? It's similar to the example sentence I had just shown you. So there was a man who really annoying me. What is missing here? A verb is missing, not an adjective, right? So this would be annoyed. He really annoyed me. He kept complaining about all the walking. He said he was เป็นความรู้สึกใช่ไหมคะรู้สึกเหนื่อยถูกไหมไม่ได้บอกว่าเขาเป็นคนที่ดูแล้วมันน่าเหนื่อยอย่างเงี้ยเนาะ so he was tired. He felt tired, right? It describes his feeling all the time. Sounds like he booked the wrong holiday. Okay, so an adjective ending with ed for your feelings and adjective ending with ing to describe places, things, right? Or a kind of person. Now, exercise 9 is pronunciation, right? And it focuses on number of syllables. อันนี้จะเป็นการออกเสียงนะคะซึ่งให้ดูว่านักศึกษาเนี่ยจับได้ไหมว่าคำนี้มันมีกี่พยางค์เนาะ Listen to the 16 adjectives here below. Write the number of syllables you hear. For example, the first one, amazed, right? So, amazed, that would be 2 syllables, right? While amazing, that would be 3 syllables. Okay, so listen and write the number of syllables on each one of them. Okay, the first one.
2,
Bored. Boring.
Okay, next.
3,
Fascinated. Fascinating.
4,
Interested. Interesting.
5,
Frightened. Frightening.
6,
Worried. Worrying.
7,
Annoyed. Annoying.
8,
Tired. Tiring.
Alright, so the first one, bored, right? And boring. This would be 1 syllable word and this would be a 2 syllable word, right? Boring. Third, fascinated and fascinating. Fascinated, right? And fascinating. Fourth, interested, interesting. Make sure you keep pronouncing side by side, alright? คอยออกเสียงตามนะคะ Fifth, frightened and frightening, right? The T here is silent ใช่ไหมมันจะเป็นเสียงแบบที่มันไม่ค่อยออกเสียงเนาะ frightening ใช่ไหมเหมือนรวบคำไปเลย Number 6, worried and worrying. Annoyed, annoying. Tired, tiring, right? Okay, so these what เดี๋ยวนะหน้า117ใช่โอเค Alright, now that you have learned some adjectives, right, to describe your feelings, you have to know that sometimes these adjectives collocate or they come together with a preposition บางครั้ง adjective ที่เราเรียนไปเมื่อกี้นะคะ worried interested excited fascinated พวกนี้มันจะมาคู่กับ preposition จำเพาะที่จะมาคู่กันเสมอใช้ด้วยกันใช่ไหม For example we would say I'm excited about the holidays right you would not say I'm excited in the holiday I'm excited of the holiday for example right so on page 117 turn over to page 117 okay in your book and we'll be practicing the adjectives along with their collocated prepositions okay if you can see on page 117 in the box above some examples have been given for example I'm interested in Greek mythology or are you interested in visiting museums right now exercise 1 you'll have to complete the sentences with these prepositions given some prepositions can be used twice of course let's have a look at the first one together are you interested what preposition comes after it in right are you interested in okay so now I'll give you some time to finish the rest okay try to guess for the ones you don't know okay it's okay if you have them wrong that's fine but let's practice first okay okay so we'll have a look at the answers and see which adjective goes with what kind of preposition okay the second one I get so bored with very good bored with right they always come together the third one people often get annoyed รู้สึกรำคาญใช่ไหมคะ get annoyed you get annoyed by number 4 are you excited you get excited about something right number 5 I'm tired ofคำว่า tired of ไม่ได้หมายถึงเหนื่อยอย่างเดียว tired of อาจจะหมายถึงเบื่อก็ได้ใช่ไหม for example I'm tired of watching this ดูช่วงนี้มานานเบื่อแล้วใช่ไหมคะ I'm tired of number 6 I'm scared กลัวรู้สึกกลัว I'm scared of right in the same way you would say I'm afraid of ใช่ไหมเหมือนกันนั่นแหละเนาะ I'm afraid of I'm scared ofเหมือนกันเลย number 7 we were so pleased รู้สึกยินดีรู้สึกดีใจ pleased with something for example we're so pleased with the tour number 8 what are you worried เธอกังวลเกี่ยวกับเรื่องอะไร what are you worried about for example you could say I'm worried about my final exams right so these are the prepositions that come with these adjectives right make sure you use the right preposition with the right adjectives alright so that's the end of unit 5b and until next time ขอบคุณค่ะจบแล้ว